Today might be one of the best days of my life. It's my 28th birthday, my friend Jay came to visit me from LA, and I got a pocket full of shrooms. I definitely needed a good day after what occurred last month. P.S. Authorities ruled it a suicide. Today we're at Insanus City, the thrill capital of Roddenland. It's my first time being here, same for Jay. I thought by coming on a Tuesday it might be empty. I didn't expect it to be this busy on a weekday. Why the fuck aren't these people at work or school? Anyways, after 45 minutes of bumper-to-bumper traffic in the parking structure, we finally found a spot. I popped open the shroom bag and divided it amongst us. I put a few in my pocket just in case we wanted to re-up later. We made it past security and entered inside. It was a completely different world, like a crazy metropolis. Towering roller coasters crisscross the skyline, weird costume characters guiding you down the main street. One of Insanus City's selling points is that it's a theme park with no seasons. By that I mean, this park doesn't wait until holidays to make it scary for Halloween or jolly for Christmas. There's a ride for everything here. The first ride we got on was called Whiplash. It was insane. You rotate 360 degrees while the track twists through a series of tight corkscrews and drops. It's supposed to give you the sensation of being in a tornado, and it did. After that we got on the Vortex. It's one of those rides that swing back and forth. You often see them at theme parks, but this one spins and swings. A few minutes in I felt like I was about to puke. The combination of this ride with Whiplash made me so disoriented I could barely walk. This park definitely tops the one I got back home. Even the treats are better here. Jay and I stopped and got some churros, and let me tell you, this was one of the best damn churros I had in my life. Shit was so hot and fresh. And the costume characters they have here are interesting too. I saw an alligator in a trench coat, a biker rabbit decked out in a leather jacket. It was like a surreal blend of human and animals. While we were walking, I saw this tall structure in the distance. I couldn't tell if it was a ride or something for construction. Now I'll be damned if it's a ride. I looked at the map. It was a ride. It was called the Abyss. A 300 feet plunge downward into a tunnel of complete darkness. The ride doesn't stop at ground level. You continue to plunge through the ground into fucking earth. I was a bit iffy on this one, but Jay wanted to ride it, so we got in line. I asked Jay if he started to feel the shrooms yet. He said no. I haven't either. I was thinking about taking a little bit more, but decided not to, just in case what we took smacked me out of nowhere. There was this one point in line where I thought I was tripping. I saw this man like a dad, probably in his 40s, dressed like a little kid. I'm talking dino tee, shorts above the knee, and light up shoes. Holding his hand was a child, maybe 7. He was wearing a button-down shirt, pressed khaki shorts, and dad sandals. What kind of backwards family is this? Who brought who to this park? And I have a feeling that kid's been changing a grown man's ass. I noticed they both had on gold hats with the theme park emblem. I noticed a few people around the park had them. Must be a member thing. Finally, it was our turn to get on the ride. I was scared shitless. I looked over at Jay and he had the jolliest smile on his face. There's always that moment of no return feeling on a ride, when the attendant is locking you in and you hear those clicks. And each click is securing you more and more in place to not move out that shit. And then they get behind their little control box, throw up that thumb, and slowly watch you take off. When we reached the top, it actually looked beautiful. You can see over the whole park and some of Roddenland. You can see over the whole park and some of Roddenland. Oh, Hello. It was complete darkness. I can tell I was tripping now. Anybody? The person next to me told me to shut up, and then we shot back up to ground level. Jay and I got off the ride. Judging by his blank face, I can tell the shrooms hit him too. Remember what I said about the moment of no return on a roller coaster? I was a bit wrong. At least on a roller coaster you can flag down the attendant to get off. But the ride Jay and I are about to have didn't have an attendant to flag down. It was the true moment of no return. We continue to explore the park, but this time through a different lens. People's faces warped into caricature expressions. The surrounding noise sounded distorted at times. It was great. We passed by this giant oak tree in the center of the park. It had a clock with Father Time written above. On the side of the tree was a door. There was a line of people with gold hats waiting outside to enter. They all looked happy and excited, like right behind the door was their favorite celebrity. Eventually the door opened and they entered inside. The gold hat people. Who are they? I told Jay Father Time is a good rendezvous spot. If one of us gets lost, meet there. It hit noon and I was starving. There was a southern soul food spot we found near the back of the park. Jay and I sat at the outside terrace and people watched while we ate. There was an old couple that passed by. Looked like they were straight out of 1920s Main Street. Man had the suit with a top hat. Woman had a nice dress with an umbrella to block the sun. Real vintage shit. Seeing them together made me think about time. Age. My age. At 28, there's a sense of being at a tipping point. You're not quite young anymore, but you're also not old. You spent your 20s moving through experiences, loves, failures, and small triumphs. Yet there's this sudden awareness that time is moving. The things that felt so distant. Settling down, growing older. Even the quiet things like the lines forming around your eyes, or the way your body recovers slower, begins to feel very close. There's a beauty in it though, a strange one. The clarity you get as you mature is like waking up a little more each day. At 28, you really start to understand who you are, apart from other people's expectations or the life you thought you were supposed to want. There's this peace in letting go of certain things, especially as you see how temporary everything is. But with that understanding also comes fear, the unknown future, the inevitability of losses, the way time seems to gain momentum. There's a quiet dread about what you can't control, and yet a deepening reverence for what you can. Maybe it's this fragile balance of fear and wonder that makes life feel more vivid, seeing both the beauty and the darkness of growing older, and being in awe of both. Fuck, these jokes got me on some existential shit. I told Jay let's get back to the rides before my idle thoughts get out of hand. We got on a pirate ride called Deadly Treasure. I really felt like I was in the shit. It's like my clothes transformed into pirate attire and I was rocking an eye patch. In one part of the ride, there were these giant ships fighting each other, blasting cannons left and right. I was ducking and diving trying to avoid getting hit, yelling to push the old matey off the brig. I'm glad we sat in the back. People would have known we were high if we sat in the front. Next thing you know, you have phone cameras pointed at you, then you're on the headlines like that dumbass from It's a Small World. After a couple more rides, I had to take a restroom break. Jay waited outside while I went in. Surprisingly, for a theme park bathroom, it was pretty empty. I did my thing at the urinal, but when I turned around, there was a man standing at the sink holding a paper towel, like one of those bathroom concierge people. He was a gold hatter too. I washed my hands, sort of keeping an eye on this guy because he came out of nowhere. Or maybe he's not really there, just a figment of my imagination. Just keep washing your hands. He started talking to me about the park. Said he's been going there for years, never wanted to leave. At first he was a season pass holder, and then upgraded to a gold member. I asked him what the whole gold member thing was about. He was glad I asked. It was a special member club for elite visitors. They get to live in the park resort nearby and have unlimited entry to Insanus City. He asked if I was interested in joining. I took the paper towel he offered and told him I'll think about it. It's my first time at the park. In reality, it just sounded a bit cultish to me. I left the restroom but couldn't spot Jay. I looked near the benches, railings, nothing. I tried calling his cell, went straight to voicemail. I wasn't scared that he might be lost, he's not a child, but I was scared the shrooms had him tripping out somewhere. I started my soul search around the park. I looked around the vortex, he wasn't there. I looked around the abyss, he wasn't there. I looked around Deadly Treasure. Well, actually, I got back on Deadly Treasure. I had to run that shit again, it was too much fun. And I'm glad I did though, because the ride is near Father Time, which made me remember the rule if we got lost. Meet at Father Time. I ran over. When I got to the tree, there was still no sign of Jay. At this point, I was just going to meet him at the car. I searched around the park, my feet are tired, and I still have my birthday to enjoy. There was an ice cream stand across from Father Time. I got me a double scoop Rocky Road and sat at a table. Ate that ice cream to my heart's content. About an hour later, another row of gold hat people lined up outside Father Time. Again, I watched them look all happy and jolly, waiting for whatever's behind that Jay? I couldn't believe what I saw. No way I'm seeing this. Jay was standing near the back with a gold hat, with the same stupid happy look everyone else had. I walked over but was stopped by security. I told them that I wanted to join too, but they said new member orientation was full. If I wasn't given a hat already, I couldn't go inside. I stood back and watched the line file inside the tree. I waited around Father Time looking for a way to enter. A family walked past. I'm usually not a thief, but I swiped a gold hat hanging off the stroller. I threw the hat on and approached the door. It was a different guard this time. I told him I was a bit late to orientation. He let me in and walked me to the orientation room. Inside there was a spiral staircase. The guard led me up the stairs to the first door. He opened it up and told me to go inside. The orientation room was filled with a sea of gold hats. Under them were blank faces staring at the projected film on the screen. The film definitely looked like an outdated recruitment video, probably recorded in the 90s. I spotted Jay and took a seat behind him. I told him I think we should leave. This member club seemed like a cult. Jay confirmed immediately that it was some sort of cult, but security didn't let him leave once he entered. I pulled out my phone and tucked it inside my jacket. I started filming. If we were going to be stuck here, might as well get some dirt to expose this place. But then I fucked up. My flash turned on. I must have accidentally tapped the button. I quickly turned it off. The film stopped. I could feel the tension from the silence in the room. All the gold hats were staring at me. A paid cast member appeared from the shadows. He stuck out his hand.
Please give me your phone.
Jay and I bolted out the room. We ran down the spiraling staircase and out the door. Unfortunately, we were in the far back of the park. We had to weave through a sea of cast members and security to escape. If we got caught, no telling what would happen to us. I ran over to a kiosk and bought Jay and I some souvenir wizard hats to disguise ourselves. Not the biggest disguise, but it was a very common hat. Almost the whole park wore them, if they weren't wearing a gold hat. We threw on the wizard hats and blended in with the crowd. Since it was getting near closing time, a lot of people were trying to get their last rides in, causing traffic through the walk path. Jay and I slowly funneled through. I was scared as fuck. I'm on the edge of exposing a cult and I'm hardly 6 meters away from where they operate. We just kept our heads straight and walked. Every cast member I saw freaked me out. I tried to duck my head every time we passed one. I felt someone grab my shoulder and my legs buckled. It turned out to be an over-anxious teen getting to his next ride. We were halfway through. I only knew because I saw the abyss. What was that? Shit sounded like one of the bombs on the pirate ride. Hush, it was just fireworks. We finally made it to the front gates. We're home free. Nope. Jay and I started speed walking. As soon as my hand hit the turnstile, another hand hit my shoulder. At that moment, I knew we were fucked. Jay and I got walked back into the park by security. We were brought into the owner's office. The owner was quite charming. I thought it would be some old geezer. But this guy had to be in his 40s, clean cut with spotless veneers. He spewed on and on about how real communities are in theme parks. The one place where people and visitors alike can have fun and enjoy their day. Where crime is minimal. Where violence hardly escalates past a brawl. In a way, he was right. Theme parks do offer a sense of sanctuary for people. An escape from the drama and issues of the real world. And it does offer a lot of the same amenities of the real world. Food, clothing, shelter. He gave me a simple offer. $50,000 to delete the video. I said yes. Jay looked at me crazy, but I didn't care. The owner wrote me a check. I deleted the video, and we left. As we were driving out the park, Jay was berating me nonstop. Why would you let a cult continue there? All those brainwashed people you could have helped. I had to chime in before he rolled me out the car. I reassured him that I emailed the video to myself. I did it while we were walking to the front, just in case something happened, which it did. So to sum it all up, Jay and I had a blast on shrooms, I exposed a cult theme park, and I made $50,000. Happy birthday to me.